It's not the most exciting device of 2023. It's not the most innovative device of 2023. Heck, it's not even the most improved device of 2023. But in my eyes, the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra is the best. Now, we're going to have to qualify this about 10 times. Is the best Android smartphone that you could buy in 2023, especially here in the United States. I know when you go globally, you go import, there's all these different devices that you pull into the equation. But this one, for me, for American consumers here in the United States, the S23 Ultra was what you would want on the Android side. And there's a lot of articles, a lot of videos, a lot of accolades for the Google Pixel 8 Pro, giving that the phone of the year. But I think a lot of times we conflate phone of the year and best phone of the year for the most improved. I understand that the Pixel 8 Pro is a fantastic device. I love it. I highly recommend it. It's running great. But you don't get extra credit for being, let's say if this is the S23 Ultra and you want to get to the top in order to beat it, you want to say the Pixel 7 Pro was about here and the Pixel 8 Pro brings it about here. Well, that still doesn't get you over the mark. It gets you close. It makes it competitive. When you bring value and price into the equation, then it gets really interesting when we have that discussion. But as far as just raw best, take the economics out of it, take what comes out of your pocket out of it, and you just look at the best phone that I think the most complete package that you could get in a smartphone on the Android side in 2023, to me, that is absolutely the Galaxy S23 Ultra. It's kind of like in the 90s when Michael Jordan was winning all his MVPs, and one year they gave it to Charles Barkley, and one year they gave it to Karl Malone. It was almost to kind of mix it up. So it wasn't that Michael Jordan was the MVP every year, but you could absolutely label MJ as the best player every single year. And just because those other players were certainly deserving and they were excellent players and Hall of Famers in their own right, they weren't Michael Jordan. You could have given the award to Michael Jordan every single year, but they kind of mixed it up a little bit. And to me, that's been the S23 or the S Galaxy Ultra line in general. It's almost been annoyingly consistently good. When you talk about the S21, when you talk about the S22, and now the S23 Ultra, they really learned from the mistakes of the S20 Ultra, which I think was absolutely not the best phone of the year in its time. I think that was a dog. But this one here has been, I think they really nailed the design. We're going to talk a lot about the S24 Ultra next week because I don't know what I could say about it or what date-wise what we're talking about. But there's going to be a lot more about that next week. But this one, I really like that they smoothed out the bezels a little bit. I mean, like they smoothed out the display, went to a flatter display. I know it's not completely flat. That's the rumor for the S24 Ultra, but I really like the curved or slightly curved display on this device. It's not a boxier feel, but it does have certainly a different feel from the S22 Ultra. But it's just a great overall phone. I was always a Note fan, so I always loved the boxier design of these devices. So if you give me that, I'm going to be happy. I kind of like when they went away from the S21 Ultra, the ultra curved design, and I really like it's kind of the best of both worlds from a Note perspective, a Note design, and the S10 Plus, which was a fantastic, fantastic phone. I would have loved to have seen that design run back for the S20 Ultra, but then they went to that kind of bulbous design that they had for that device. But this one here, when you just go through the entire list of things that you'd want in a smartphone from front to back, it really tops out. Display number one. That's always number one on my list. You have to have a good display. You have to have a bright display. You have to have a saturated display. You have to have something that is excellent to look at, and the S23 Ultra absolutely does that. This is a phenomenal panel. Samsung has always shipped phenomenal panels, and the S23 Ultra is no exception. Performance-wise, Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, can't get better than that. On the Android side, really snappy performance. Excellent. Never had an issue with it the entire year. Just overall, never a hiccup. Never any overheating that I was overly concerned about. Never any slowdowns or gaming slowdowns or anything like that. And certainly not any battery drain, which is the next thing that we're going to come to. The Snapdragon, the Gen 2 was phenomenal on battery life. Really good. It transformed a lot of devices, specifically the S23 Ultra, because if there was one check mark, if there was one annoying thing about the S22 Ultra that really held it back, it was battery life. And a little bit overheating, not so much with that, but really the battery life. That for that kind of money, that device should have had better battery life. And the S23 Ultra with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, they absolutely solved that problem. Camera is great. Periscope zoom, you got it. You want to argue back and forth about the aesthetics of the camera And whether you like the Samsung computational model, or you like the Google computational model, or the Apple computational model, whatever it is, it's a good camera. It's a flagship quality camera. They did a lot of things, especially with the Android update. In fact, let me go into what you can see here on the camera side in the settings. You got the advanced intelligent options, and you could kind of, that camera assistant that they used to have for just in the Samsung app, it was like a separate app. Now they've integrated that, they've combined that into the regular camera app for the Android 14 release for One UI 6. So now you could do, kind of take care of that shutter lag that plagued Samsung cameras for years. You could take care of that now right in the camera app itself. I love the design changes. I love the aesthetic changes. I love the fact that they've changed up the notification shade. Software-wise, you get them every month. You get them even sometimes sooner than the Google updates monthly on security patches. Long gone are the days where you would get a TouchWiz update every quarter or so when you get a Samsung update. Now you're getting monthly updates. They're good. The efficiencies are there. There's never been in the last, let me see now. I don't want to, let's say 3 or 4 years maybe. Let's just call it 3. Let's be safe. There's not been an update in the last 3 years with One UI that broke something. That really was a game changer for a lot of people, where it just destroyed my experience. One UI 1.0 destroyed my Note 9 experience. Awful as TouchWiz was. The original version of One UI was bad. I couldn't use the Note 9, bit dramatic, but I had trouble using the Note 9 after the One UI update. So far, it's come so far from them 4 or 5 years ago to where now One UI, I think, is the best version of Android that you could get, the best skin, the best software, and that looks to continue. It does continue on the S23 Ultra. And these are important devices still, because I did this video last year. To me, the best deal in smartphones, or one of the best deals in smartphones, is the year-old or 6-month-old, or 6 months rather, after the release of the new phone. So the S24 Ultra comes out, right? 6 months down the line, these are going to be on sale for $400 or $500. You can find a pretty good quality example in excellent shape. People who had traded them in, people who, whatever, they're selling them, they're getting a new one, or they're getting a fold, or whatever they're doing. You could find a lot of these. 1 billion people bought them. A lot of people buy them. They're carrier deals. They got to trade them in. There's a lot of these stocks around. So if you could find one of these, either Amazon Renewed or just new old stock, you get them on eBay sometimes and all the rest of it. This turns into usually one of the best deals in smartphones, because if you could pick one of these up, even 6 months from now, at $500, $600, $400, you're really winning. You're getting a phone that's going to be supported for another 3-4 years. You're getting all the excellent features. You're getting a phenomenal build quality. You're getting this beautiful, I love the color. I'm going to miss this lilac or lavender or whatever they called it. Really nice frosted matte glass here on the back. Love the design. You're going to get all that flagship quality. You're going to get the premium everything, top of the line everything, for a price that you could probably get Pixel 8 for, or a Pixel 9 when it comes out. And that becomes a conversation. You're going to get Pixel 9 at $500-$600, or you're going to pick up one of these and really enjoy all that it has to offer. So the S23 Ultra, when you look at the entire package from front to back, you're talking, to me, in my mind, the best Android smartphone of 2023. Thank you for an amazing 2023. By the way, this is the last video we're going to have, of course, as it's New Year's Eve. I wish you a happy New Year's Eve, a fantastic night, a fantastic day tomorrow. So thank you for this year. We met 20,000 this year. Maybe we'll set an ambitious goal. Maybe it'll be 30,000 next year. But I thank you for all the support and watching as usual. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-licious day.